Morgan State University. I've worked here for 6 years and I've seen some really positive things with our students. I feel really privileged to have seen 2 classes graduate so far, and our students are very special. A lot of them are first-generation college students who may not have even thought about having an undergraduate education, but when they come here, a lot of them become extremely focused. And to watch them grow from high school students who maybe have an idea of what they want to do when they grow up, quote unquote, and then to blossom into these young professionals who are capable of telling stories, particularly their story, is just very rewarding for me. So I've enjoyed my time here at Morgan State University watching our students become professionals. As students, to progress the school, I think you should always remember that you have a voice. I think one of the things I'd like to see more of from Morgan State students is speaking up on issues. Recently, there was a Trayvon Martin rally, which was great. A couple years ago, we had a Gina 6 rally, which was great. These kinds of things I love to see college students get involved in, because you all really don't have anything to lose. And a lot of the young movements that occurred in our country were led by college students. So to realize that you have a voice and to have power is what I really want for all of my Morgan State students to realize and act upon every single day. If you don't like something, change it. To be successful when you graduate from Morgan State University, I think you need tenacity, because a lot of Morgan State students will encounter this fierce job market these days, and they might get very discouraged. They might think that they went to college for 4 years and something was promised to them and now it's not there. It is going to take a lot of work to be a professional these days, but if they focus and they really apply themselves, they can be successful in the workplace, and they can be great ambassadors for the school in the process. My name is Alyssa Richardson, and I am a Morgan State Bear.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Malik McBride. I'm from the Bay Area, California. I'm with Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Bloody Pi chapter, and my major is psychology. Morgan State has made me a better person today, just based off of getting more familiar with my Afrocentric side, which is really all of our side, and just being familiar with our roots and where we come from. I had a teacher that told me you can't change the world until you see yours clearly, meaning that you can't change the world until you have an idea for who you are as a person. Also, I have to also say, joining an organization, Omega has definitely helped me tremendously. Really our 4 cardinal principles, which are manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. Omega just has really perpetuated the person that I am. And it's definitely made me a better person. Definitely with networking with different bros from up and down the East Coast, and just essentially just the brotherhood and the friendship and the camaraderie that this organization is about. It's definitely helped matriculate me into, and also the other Divine 9 organizations as well, with the Alphas, the Kappas, the Deltas, the AKAs. It's just awesome to see all these organizations, Greek organizations, just coming together for community service and serving the community, because that's truly what Greek organizations are about. One thing that we can do to improve Morgan State University for the future is just coming together as a people, that being with the professors and the students and with the different organizations that we have on campus, and also just again, like I stated earlier, getting in touch with our African side and embracing that, because to me I feel like that is so vital in these days and times. A lot of people are searching for peace in their lives, and I feel that getting in touch with our Afrocentric side will definitely help a lot of us discover peace. So, definitely, when I graduate from Morgan State University, I'm definitely going to represent my university by just giving back to those who are seeking help and trying to become, that is what they're trying to become, and essentially just going into the neighborhoods and communities and reaching out to those people that might not be as fortunate to come to a university and come get a tour, or meet with different people that can help network them on getting to where it is that they want to get to. So, my name is Malik McBride, and I am a Morgan State Bear.
I am Intia DeShields, a lecturer here at Morgan State University. This is my 5th year, teaching year, 1 year as an adjunct faculty member and 4 years full-time faculty. Some positive things I've seen from students at Morgan State University are enthusiasm. Enthusiasm about being in a classroom with faculty who are equally enthusiastic about being there. I've worked with the forensics and debate team since I've been here full time, and that's probably been one of my most positive experiences here. The students tend to be very committed to developing strong and effective public speaking skills. They're also competitive, which is something that I love, and I think that a healthy drive for competition is a desirable trait in a person, and I've definitely seen that in quite a few students here at the university. We could all, overall for the university, really aim to have greater expectations, to expect more and strive to do more for both the immediate Morgan State University community and the broader Morgan State and Baltimore community. One of the things that I hear people say all the time is, oh, it's just Morgan, or that's Morgan. And I think that that's a cop-out. I think that if we are to truly grow as an institution, if we are to truly grow as a Morgan community, as Morganites or as Bears, then it means that we have to have higher expectations. Skills that students need, I always go back to communication skills, because without strong communication skills, nothing else matters. The first step is what people both see and hear. If they see someone that they do not believe would be a good representation for their organization, their institution, or their company, they're less likely to even give you an opportunity to share your ideas. I am Intia DeShields, and I am a Morgan State Bear.
Tayana Harrison, Senior Finance Major at Morgan State University from PG County, Maryland. Morgan State has also led me to believe that being a part of, actually attending an HBCU is more so an advantage than a disadvantage. I say that because it aligns me with what companies want, like what they're looking for. For example, companies come here not only to pick prestigious students to contribute to their institution, but they also come here to get African American students, which will create a diverse industry for them. It will make them look better, you know, being as though if they don't have any African Americans in their institution, they'll be considered biased. When I graduate from Morgan State, I want people to identify me as someone who cares. I don't want to necessarily say a leader, but someone who cares. There's been numerous times and occasions where I actually put time into something that may not be benefiting me, but benefiting somebody else, just to see them walk away with a smiling face. Again, my name is Tayana Harrison, and I am a Morgan State Bear.
I'm Pia Marie Jordan. I'm a lecturer in the Department of Communication Studies at Morgan State University. Some of the positive things I've seen at Morgan: chivalry. Chivalry? Well, the reason I say chivalry is I notice some of the young men, they're very polite to me. They open doors for me, they greet me, and so chivalry is one of the things I've seen in Morgan students. Another positive thing I've seen in Morgan State University students is creativity. I had never been to a Miss Morgan, Mr. Morgan type production before, and to see Morgan students dance, speak, and the great gala of such a project, it was very creative. What do we need to improve on at Morgan State University? Well, one thing, I think we need a dialogue on civility, appropriate dress, and conflict resolution. Now, why do I say that? Well, sometimes when I'm walking around campus, the way the students, male, female, may greet each other is not very pleasant, I'll use that word. It's not showing civility. You know, not every woman is a bee. A bee is a female dog. And unless you're going to a dog show, that's the only time the B word should be used. It should not be directed at any woman, no matter how much a student feels about a certain woman. And this is just not going for men. This is going for the women too. Another area of improvement for Morgan State University is conflict resolution. I hear from students that anytime there's a party, Ms. Jordan, there's going to be a fight. Well, you know what? There doesn't have to be fights. There are ways, mature ways, that we can resolve conflict, find a solution for a conflict. And I think we need to have a dialogue on that and workshops dealing with that. And then also writing. I think our students need to get better at their writing, the use of grammar, spelling, punctuation, some workshops, more opportunities for students to have opportunities just to build their writing skills. And last but not least, one of the things I think Morgan State University needs to improve on, and this is my pet peeve, most of the clocks I see throughout the campus are not set properly. They're the wrong time. And if they're the wrong time, if it's time to leave, how will I or students know it's time to leave? Because the clocks are wrong.
My name is Brandon Crawford. I'm from PG County. I'm a communication studies major, and I am a Morgan State Bear. I feel as though Morgan State has made me become a better person today, because when I came in as a freshman, I felt like I wasn't as mature as everybody else, as my peers. And I feel like Morgan State has really helped me to become, make that transition from a boy to a man, and dealing with like certain aspects as my schoolwork, taking schoolwork seriously, as forming relationships with my peers. And it really helped me to understand, basically grow up and try to make a better way for myself. And now I know how to communicate with different people from all types of areas and all types of different backgrounds, which before then I wasn't able to do. You always hear when you go to Morgan State, you always hear a lot of people will say they don't like Morgan State for this reason or that reason. And I feel as though there are a lot of organizations on campus that you can get into that can make changes, that do changes for the school. And I feel like it's up to you as a Morgan State student to stop complaining and to really, get into something, join something, or start your own, organization. And really, you can make Morgan State into a better university and a better college for everybody. When I graduate from Morgan State, I want to represent my school in a way that everybody will respect a Morgan State student. So whenever somebody hear the name Morgan State, I don't want them necessarily to think of myself, but I want to set like a tone. I want to have something, oh, he's from Morgan State, or he's going to be on point, or he's going to be able to do the job. I don't want them to say anything negative about Morgan State. I want to change the culture, everything positive about Morgan State. And that's why I feel like I'm working towards when I graduate, because you got to bring the next person up. When I make it, I feel like I want everybody to make it, from Morgan State. It's a family. I'm Brandon Crawford, and I'm a Morgan State Bear.
My name is Keenan Richardson. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, senior and a business marketing major. Well, when I first came here, I was around 17, and I'm 21 now, so that's the years I was able to mature from being around certain people, being in different situations. It has helped me grow as a man. Connections as far as with business. I have my own business, and it helped me enhance my business, and Morgan has just been a stepping stone, been my stepping stone in being successful. Well, the memorable moment was when I actually met the late Julian Benson, a former Mr. Morgan State University, and he basically took me under his wing when I was Mr. Freshman, and we just connected on so many levels, and he was basically there to show me the ropes as far as with SGA, as far as with campus life, student life, and like just being around him, I was just able to learn a lot about Morgan alone and being a man of Morgan. I mean, Morgan State University is a very great school. I don't think we really need to improve much except for the unity. I think we just need to unify more with alumni, administration, the student body. I think we just need to unify more, because you have like in the engineering building, it's like a whole different world over there, and then in Murphy is a whole different world. I think campus-wide we should do more events, social events, informative events, and just unify the campus as a whole. Well, I'm gonna put on for Morgan to the day I die. I'm proud to be a Morganite. After graduation, I'm gonna be going to UCLA to do my master's in LA. So I'm gonna wear my Morgan apparel wherever I go. I'm gonna make a name for Morgan, a bigger name for Morgan for myself, and I'm gonna just represent Morgan to the best I can. It's Keenan Richardson, and I'm a Morgan State Bear.
Greetings, I'm Carlton Smith, Mr. Morgan State University 2011-2012. I'm from the south side of Chicago, Illinois. I'm a senior philosophy major with a pre-law concentration and a business minor.
Hi everyone, I am Janae Thames, Miss Morgan State University 2011-2012, and I am from Montgomery County, Maryland, and I am a graduating senior in the School of Social Work, majoring in social work.
Morgan State University has made me a better, more positive person. It has, for one, it has made me become an adult early on, because, you know, just being thrown into the college realm, you have no choice but to mature. And, you know, I've become more involved. It's opened up so many different opportunities, such as becoming Mr. Morgan State University, which I never even thought of. Like, when I came to Morgan, I didn't even know what it was. Now, 3-4 years later, you see me here. But Morgan State University is just, like I said, it's made me become an adult, and it's actually really prepared me for the real world.
Just like Kaufman said, Morgan State University has allowed me to grow up. It has allowed me to become an adult in this world. Just being a part of different organizations on campus, being able to learn tools that will help me further in my employment, in my career. It's just an amazing experience. It's given me things that I've always wanted. Like, I've always wanted to be Miss Morgan State University, and I'm thankful for Morgan State University and the people of Morgan State University for letting such a thing happen like that. So Morgan State University has opened up windows of opportunity, and I'm extremely grateful for it.
Well, Some of the negative things that I see, and these were a few things that Janae and I were trying to basically build up during our reign, was school spirit. Because you go to other universities, and these are the quote-unquote bigger name universities, such as your Howards, your FAMUs, and it's like no matter where you go, you can say this name of the school and people will know what you're talking about. People that don't even go there seem like they have some type of spirit for it, and we're trying to build that name up for Morgan, because Morgan has a lot of rich history and spirit, and people don't know it, and it's almost like a lot of people don't even care. And it's like, you go to this school, you're supposed to care, and it's like if anything, by you going to the school, you're supposed to help bring it up instead of giving the school that you go to a bad name. So those are some of the negative things that I see, and the faculty can only do so much because it's really dependent upon the students, because we go here. When people think of Morgan State University, they don't think of the faculty, they see the students first. So if they see the students badmouthing the university, then they're going to badmouth the university.
One of the biggest issues I see at Morgan State University is love for one another. With, once again, like I said, our big thing was spirit and unity among student body. Like, we really want to bring organizations together, just support each other, go to each other's events, go to basketball games, go to football games. Just show that you care about your university and the individuals who are at your university. And sometimes I feel that our university sometimes neglects that unity that we need at our school. We've gotten better through this year. We have done amazing things. Cheerleading champs, Honda All-Stars. We have done so many great things this year. And I just want everybody to be unified because of these great things that we're doing at this university and being notified of these great things. So definitely unity at our school and spirit. And just love for one another. We're all here, we're all passionate for our education, and we all need to remember that. So yeah, those would be the things I think we are lacking at our university.
Well, first and foremost, I want people to know that I am a proud graduate of the Morgan State University. First and foremost, that's a statement right there, and a lot of people don't even know it, and I would gladly give them a briefing of our history at this rich university. And I want them to know that when I go outside into the world after I graduate from here, and the great things that I plan on doing and that I will do, I want them to know that this is the school that taught me. This is my upbringing at this university. It's made me greater, and it's enhanced everything that I can already do.
For me, just like Carl said, and just the exact same way, I want someone to see me and see my university. Once I accomplish every goal that I plan on accomplishing in my life, I want them to say, oh, that's a Morgan State University graduate. That's what they do at their school. They accomplish these goals and they excel in life. So definitely, I just want everybody to know that I am Morgan State University, just like you're Morgan State University. There's actually an organization on our campus called I Am Morgan, just to bring about like love and passion and spirit for a university. So when I leave and I'm gone, and very soon, I want everybody to remember that I love this university, and I did everything that I could possibly do to serve it the way that I wanted to.
My name is Carlton Smith, and I am a Morgan State Bear.
I am Janae Thames, and I am a Morgan State Bear.
My name is Jared Ball, and I'm Associate Professor of Communication Studies here at Morgan State University in the Communication Studies Department. So some positive things that I've seen from students and faculty here at Morgan State are numerous, and they almost immediately, for me, always start with the fact that they're overcoming tremendous odds from an inappropriate lack of resources, support, funding, a damaged educational system in this country that produces students who are targeted for permanent failure. Yet they come here and overcome it, and then a lot of and many of them overcome it and do a lot of good work. Same with the faculty. The faculty suffer in many cases the same situation from an inappropriate lack of funding and resources, and yet still produce a great amount of good work and do a lot of strong work in the classroom. So given what we struggle against, I find a lot of positives here, both in students and faculty. I mean, to be honest, you know, I would always have to start with the macro issue. I mean, if we really want to improve Morgan State and the quality of the faculty and the quality of the students, we have to first be more adequately funded as a state institution and get more of the resources that come here to be more, from my point of view, more appropriately distributed, so that we can do more to increase the high quality of work that we're already doing. You know, so from a student's perspective, it's always the same. I mean, students have to be vigilant and aware of the fact that they are starting off with some severe disadvantages, and take that seriously and endeavor to do harder work and to work harder as individual students and bring more to the classroom and do more work, intellectual work outside of the classroom, and take advantage of what is, at the end of the day, despite what I'm saying about the lack of resources and state support, at the end of the day, this is a privileged situation. So, you know, relative to the rest of the world and relative to the rest of the economy in this country and the workforce in this country, students have a privileged position and should use it to improve themselves, you know, in terms of their critical thinking skills, their research skills, their intellectual capacity. So, given that we have built-in structure for students in terms of the average student's life to do reading and research and work, that's how they should spend more of their time to improve themselves. And then with an appropriate support from the institution and the state, faculty could do more to improve ourselves in terms of our research and production and so on and so forth, which I think we do so much good of, despite, again, the inadequate support financially from the institution and the state. Okay. I'm Dr. Jared Ball, and I am a Morgan State Bear.
My name is Quincy Holder. I'm a junior at Morgan State University, political science major. I'm from Prince George's County, Maryland. Morgan State, it's impacted me in quite a few ways. I'm gonna say probably the number one ways were my teachers, my professors. I had a couple of professors that were very influential. Dr. Jackson in the political science department and Professor Kamar. Those two professors really made a very huge impact on my life, not only in the classroom but me as a man, letting me know what is expected of me being a black man in this world right now. I believe as students we can improve the school by actually knowing what our purpose is to be here. Like we came here for a certain reason, which is to learn, become educated, not to have fun, party, and do whatever unnecessary things that just sidetrack us from the main goal, which is graduating with a degree from Morgan State. Not only that being a degree, but having that degree mean something. When you graduate from Morgan, you should be able to, when somebody asks you what school you came from, and it says, and you say you come from Morgan State, they shouldn't be like, oh man, well, you gotta worry about this person. They should know that Morgan State has some pride behind it, and it carries a lot of weight to graduate from Morgan State. I plan to graduate from Morgan State, and I plan to represent my school by being the best person that I possibly can, and taking everything that I learned and everything that I encountered with me, and applying it to my life to show that I am a Morgan State Bear, and I can do any and everything that I put my mind to. My name is Quincy Holder, and I'm a Morgan State Bear.
I'm Alice Jackson. I am an associate professor at Morgan State. I'm in the political science department, and I have been here at Morgan for the past 12 years. We have wonderful students at Morgan. They are eager to learn, and in order to get them to do more work, what we as professors do, or what I do, is to make sure that I encourage them. And once you encourage them, you see them developing their skills and wanting to learn more. And I think that is wonderful that they have this quest for knowledge. Morgan students, they get involved. They get involved in social activities, and that is extremely positive for me as a political science professor, because I want students to be activists. I want students to take a stand. I want students to know the issues. And I see a lot of that on campus, and especially from our political science department. Okay, for the students, I think they should read more, know what's going on in the world around them, and just become a little bit more curious as to what is going on. As a political scientist, I want them to know every in and out of what's going on in politics, because politics affects everybody's lives, and I try to impart that on them. So that's one thing I'd like for them to do. Another thing that I'd like to see improved at Morgan State is the customer service. I think that if students had better customer service, they would probably do a little bit better. And I know that our president is trying to improve the customer service. For example, I called down the other day at Montebello, and I was pleased to see that the calls were being triaged. So I was able to get my question answered immediately, as opposed to having to wait on the phone. And I think it's very positive when we have our questions answered, and students need to have their questions answered, because after all, they are our customers, and I feel very strongly about that. Well, when they graduate and go out into the real world, they have to be professional in everything that they do. They have to be professional in their dress, they have to be professional in their speech, and they have to be professional in their actions. They are representing alma mater, Morgan State University, and going out and being positive in everything that they do will be very good for Morgan State University. I think that they should also try to give back to Morgan. One of the problems that we have at the university, at all HBCUs, is that students do not give back. And HBCUs are nurturing schools, but we need the money. We need for them to come back and give us money so that we can do better and do more things for the other students who are coming behind. I'm Dr. Alice Jackson, Political Science Associate Professor, and I'm a Morgan State Bear. I love Morgan.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Hassan Badru. I'm from Nigeria. My major here, I attend Morgan State University. My major here is Electrical and Computer Engineering, and I'm a senior, graduate senior. Morgan State University amazingly has been great for me, because I never intended to come to Morgan State University. It was never my intention to be here. But when I came here, I realized I could. It was for the better good. I was able to actually make an impact. I was able to actually see myself for what I didn't see myself as before. I was able to see life in a different way. I was able to be much more concerned about my community, about making differences, about being a part of the change to make Morgan better. Because if Morgan students don't make Morgan, if Morgan students don't contribute to making Morgan better, no one else will. So we Morgan students are actually the ones that are, we're the ones that should work together to make Morgan better. And that was one thing I was able to learn by coming to Morgan. So Morgan has made me a better person when it comes to impacting the community and being concerned about the world around me. After I graduate, I intend to represent Morgan State University by lifting up the flag. And by lifting up the flag, I mean by doing things that is unexpected from a Morgan State University student, and doing things that are exceptional, doing things that go beyond, thinking outside the box, going beyond what is expected of a Morgan State University student. That's one of the ways I intend on lifting the Morgan State University flag, and that's how I intend to represent Morgan State University outside Morgan. I'm Hassan Badru, and I'm a Morgan State BA.
I'm Welma Mashinini Red, and I teach communications courses here at Morgan State University. Well, we at Morgan, like any university, I would imagine, there is a range of different types of students. There are students with different attitudes. There are students with different aptitudes. And what I mean is that there are students who come here really eager to learn. They are very cooperative. They're in class every single day on time, and they cooperate. They participate in the class discussions and projects. They take the projects to the level where you come out of it feeling that you've actually taught something and the students have grasped something. And then there are those students who are here because their parents told them they had to come to college, or everybody else was coming, so they just joined the bandwagon. They have no real goals. They don't really care. And some of them change. And as they come closer to graduation, after 4 years, they realize that, oh my goodness, I've been here 4 years. I mean, I have a career. I could be communications professional. I am when it dawns on them and they wake up, then I think sometimes they regret not paying attention and not getting as involved. Students coming into Morgan can benefit a lot if they take a more international look at their education. Add more than what you think you're here for. Don't just go in for your major. Add a minor. Try to get an international study abroad program under your belt. Try to get involved in extracurricular activities. Get involved in some programs on the campus that will give you an opportunity to work, to interact, and to get a new experience that can go on your resume. These are the things that employers look at. These are the things that give you an edge. So I encourage students here to check out the African Studies program, get a minor, and in this program you will have opportunities for study abroad. Go beyond your wildest dreams and just do more. And I'm Welma Red, faculty here at Morgan State University, a true Morgan Bear.
My name is Peter Chuka Wanfo. Obtained my PhD and my master's degree here from Morgan. So I've worked here now for about 7 years, and we have, improved tremendously since I started here at Morgan. There's a lot of progress being made. Students are evolving, they are learning more, they're paying attention, and from the understanding we have a lot of leadership materials, people who understand what it means to lead, to understand how to help one another grow into a better society. We've had some positives here at Morgan, and most of the individuals who spearhead it come from a place of consciousness. They believe in truth and they try to, push it forward to help one another. And there's that added dimension when individuals come together as one and realize they are human beings first before anything else. So there's no stereotyping, there's no boxing, putting people in boxes. They understand that being human is the first thing and everything else follows. And once we begin to think of ourselves as individuals, as human beings, we come to a place of understanding where we can actually make progress. And I see Morgan as a place where that is possible. And a lot of people are projecting that. You know, they are talking about it. The professors are doing a good job. Aside from delivering the material they're supposed to, they're also trying to move the students in the direction they're supposed to go. And students are organizing. Within the 4 years of obtaining a degree, they are able to socialize amongst people from various ethnic groups, and that makes a lot of sense. I believe people that came before us, the giants that came ahead of us, have set the precedence for that to happen. We have Dr. King, we have Malcolm, who of course in one of his speeches talks about how it's not possible to hate the root without hating the tree. It's highly important that we begin to think of ourselves as branches of this tree that Malcolm talks about. And if you're able to embrace yourself, then you are able to show good examples for everybody else. So Malcolm, of course, addresses the issue that individuals who have African descent dislike Africa because, and he uses the word hate, I'm trying to be more positive, he uses the word hate because individuals dislike Africa because of all the negative they hear about Africa, but they don't know much about Africa. And he talks about you cannot hate the root without hating the tree. So in hating Africa or disliking Africa, you actually dislike yourself. So there's a problem with individual psychology, with the way you react to other people just because of where they are from. So we're talking about humanity, being individuals, being human beings. That should be the most valuable of everything that we do. Once we begin to think in terms of human beings, we forget about the regions that we artificially put in place, that were forcefully put in place, how people were moved from one place to another, and how they react to those environments becomes the conditioning that makes them act the way they do. So what we have come to understand is people judge other individuals based on where they're supposedly from, the culture from where they learned their intelligence. They have done the same thing that you've done where you're from. So there's no difference. We are all human beings. There's an example that Césaire gave when he went back to Martinique. He told the Martinican people that they were the same as the African. The Martinican people said, no, that they are not the same, that if you want an African, you should go back to Africa and find one. And they said Césaire was crazy, that he has lost his mind. Until the Second World War, and everybody began to realize that they were the same people, and they had to go back to the African and say, you know what, we had made a mistake, and they went back to Césaire to say, well, we understand now what you were trying to tell us. The information we have is that all humankind may have their origin in Africa, but it's easy to hate the African based on what the media tells you about Africa. So you're beginning to distinguish yourself based on where you grow up. So you are perpetuating a policy of divide and conquer that was put in place, that Willie Lynch wrote about in 1712, on how you can keep people oppressed, controlled until 500 years. So the first thing that an individual who graduates from college needs to do is to find themselves. Once you find yourself, everything else comes to place. You have to find who you are. You have to take time to think it through. Frederick Douglass was successful because he took time to think through his issues and knew exactly what he needed to do to move the race forward. For anybody else who wants to be successful, the first thing you need to do is to begin to develop yourself into a better you. Once you find out who you are, everything else is easy. Consciousness makes it so possible that you can achieve any goal that you put your mind to. My name is Peter Chukwuemefo, and I'm a Morgan State Bear, twice.
Corbett, and I am the Coordinator for the Office of Student Activities at Morgan State University. I've seen some great things from students at Morgan. Their leadership skills, their thirst for knowledge, their ability to take what they've learned at Morgan and turn it into small businesses or go out into the community and do some great service there, internships, and just carrying the name of Morgan across the globe. A great example of leadership shown by our students, I think for this semester we have 4 students within the National Panhellenic Council, 4 different fraternities and sororities, who actually hold national board positions in their respective organizations. That's, you know, probably unheard of for one campus to have that many students who represent their fraternity and sorority nationally. So I was very proud to hear that. That just shows that the skills they've learned here, they've been able to apply it elsewhere. And again, it's just a great way to spread the name of Morgan State University. Students and faculty and staff all need to learn the history, the vast history of Morgan State University. Since 1867, we have made great strides. However, because our students and our staff members do not realize what those who've gone before us had to do in order for us to be here today, they really don't have a great sense of purpose, a lack of school spirit. There's a lot of apathy there. But if you knew the story of W.F. McMecken or Ashby Hawkins or Dean Bando, who was Dean of Women, you would then understand the greatness that Morgan State had to offer, and that tradition should be carried on. So there's a huge push, I think, this semester, due to my class on the history of Morgan State University, to really understand the purpose and meaning of why we all are here. In 1939, excuse me, there was a transition between 1935 and 1939. There was a transition of Morgan College to be owned by the state of Maryland. Since that time, we have been blatantly discriminated against financially, academically, socially, and our students just need to understand that we have fought, that the people who came before us really fought hard for Morgan to be here, and they should carry on that spirit of keeping Morgan here and making it greater. Some tips on once you graduate is that you don't forget where you came from. That when you graduate and you walk across the stage and you know, in essence leave Morgan, that you come back, that you never forget, and that you give back. More importantly, you know, we have a true desire to be bigger and greater, but we need the funding to do that, and our alumni can really help out if they choose to. So I beg that students don't forget where they came from and to give back. I'm Toya Corbett, and I am a Morgan State Bear.
My name is Steven Jackson. I'm a broadcasting and integrated media studies major, originally from Baltimore, Maryland. Morgan has made me a better person in so many ways. When I came here my freshman year, I was a completely different person. I was more so focused on the social aspect of college and not really dealing with academics. It wasn't really until I started getting involved with volunteering with SGA and stuff like that that I really started to buckle down and started to think about my future and really start to utilize the resources at Morgan to get to that point. A lot of the negativity that I see at Morgan deals with the overall student morale. You get a lot of negative students that don't really have any school spirit at all, and complain and take Morgan for granted. And one of the things that I've noticed when we go on conferences and stuff and we see you know, student leaders from other HBCUs, they're telling us about their experiences, and you know, some people only are working with a $5,000 budget for homecoming, and they don't really have much, and a lot of us kind of take what we have here for granted. Same thing with the faculty, you know, it's just negativity. That's really what I just see, just negative attitude. I plan to represent Morgan State quite well, honestly. I think it's ridiculous when people make it seem like just because I go to a HBCU, it's not going to look as good on a resume as it would a PWI, but people don't realize there's a lot of great people that graduated from Morgan, and I plan to uphold that same prestige.
I'm Greg Adamo, Associate Professor of Communication Studies at Morgan State. I also coordinate the Master's Program in Telecommunications Management. And I teach media programming classes, media management, and sometimes radio classes. Well, one of the things, I'm a first-generation college student, and I notice a number of Morgan students, their parents never went to college. And Morgan really gives them an opportunity to enter the academic world, and some of them rise to the occasion and learn how to write well and work hard and think critically, and have gone on to nice careers. I think students need to get more involved in student life here and take greater responsibility to make changes. All of us like to complain and things, but I think taking action and being organized to make things better is important. I'm Greg Adamo, Associate Professor of Communication Studies, and I am a Morgan Bear.
Hello there, I'm Professor Naughton, Brian Naughton. Many people, when I come to a new class or a new class comes to me, they say, well, Professor Naughton, how long have you been in Morgan? And I say, longer than you've been on this earth. Between you, me, and the fence post, I've been here since 1986, so that's a lot of years. Applicable in all fields, in life, you know, in relationships, you know, you have to try. You can't just coast, okay? So many people think that they can just get by, you know, or just show up, or just punch the clock. Well, it doesn't work like that. After a while, they said, get out. So you really have to be a conscientious person and make sure that you show that you're conscientious in terms of your work ethic and all of that other kinds of things. Those are the people who are successful in life and in their chosen profession. So there you have it. I'm Brian Naughton, and I'm a Morgan State Bear.
My name is Brandon Ammons. I'm a junior. I'm from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, Prince George's County. My major is broadcast and integrated media with a concentration in television, and I'm the vice president of the National Association of Black Journalists. Morgan State has made me a better person because when I first got here, my first semester I didn't do well, and it made me grow up fast. It made me realize that this isn't a joke. My parents paid so much money, like I have to get it together. So I had to do a lot of growing up, and that's exactly why I haven't been on academic probation since then. I've had a 3.0 every semester since then. So, you know, that's one thing I'll say, or that's one reason I say Morgan State helped me. It definitely helped me grow up. I leave Morgan State, I want to basically be known as a Morgan man. That means hardworking, dedicated to whatever he's doing, great in the community, always has a great attitude, gets the job done no matter what. Somebody who's easy to work with, willing to learn, willing to teach. Just overall a good person. To me, that's what a Morgan man is. My name is Brandon Ammons, and I am a Morgan State Bear.
I am Baruti Capano, Associate Professor in the Department of Communication Studies at Morgan State University. Some positive things I've seen from students? Oh, absolutely. You know, one of the things I would say is traditionally, at least in the past, I taught the orientation class. So I got a chance to meet practically every student in the department. Those students who came through the orientation for communication studies majors. So I got a chance to be with them and see them over 4 or more years and get a chance to see their intellectual growth. And intellectually grow, many of them have. I've been able to see them have the aha moments. I've been able to see students go to graduate schools of their choice. I've been able to see folks entering careers and to be very successful in work in the industry. And very proud of them. Well, I would say the most obvious thing is we understand that sometimes students have many needs outside of, or requirements outside of their university life. But we would like to make sure that the students come prepared to class, to read their materials, to come on time, to put their electronic devices away, to ask some demanding questions of their instructors, to be involved in student organizations. That's what I would say would be one of the most important aspects of the educational experience, is to be able to move outside of the classroom, to be able to participate at the TV station, for the Spokesman newspaper, or Access PR, or the speech and debate team. We'd like to see the students take advantage of the opportunity to have multiple internships, so that they are indeed honing their skills in an increasingly competitive industry. I think these things will be useful to students along the way. For faculty members, and I said this earlier to a student, and I mean this, I think that we have some incredible faculty members who are by and large dedicated and passionate. I think any demand that I would have, or any suggestion that I would have, or any criticism I would have of faculty would really be initiated from the students. I think to the degree that students are coming and they're prepared and they're respectfully always, but demanding the best from us, I think we're going to deliver. If I know that, well, I don't really have to prepare because no one's going to challenge me, well, maybe I'm not as well prepared as I need to be. And I think it would be human nature. It is human nature for sometimes for us not to be in the comfort zone. But again, if students don't want us in that comfort zone, then they have to come prepared, and they have to make sure that they are present and attentive and demanding the best from us. Yeah, successful tip. For many students who are in my class, they're required to complete what I call a career plan. And they are to provide for themselves a strategy for years 1, 3, 5, and 10 post-graduation. What do I want to do as a career? What are the titles? How do I plan to get there? And I have to do the research. What is this called? How much do these people make? What skills are needed here? How do I get from point A to point B? How am I going to get from this point from year 1 to year 3 to year 5 to year 10? And then how am I going to sustain myself along the way? You know, what kind of budget do I need? How much money am I going to make? What are my expenses going to be? And then to get real numbers and to put that all together. And that's for the career side. And then there are more kind of what I call spiritual questions that they are to be asking all along the way. I think that's most important. These are not Baruti Capano original questions. Frantz Fanon, the psychiatrist out of Martinique, says that all human beings are to ask and answer 3 fundamental questions. Who am I? Am I really who I say I am? And am I all I ought to be? And I think these are 3 questions that we hope that folks are asking themselves as they're here on this planet. I am Baruti Capano, and I am a Morgan State alumnus and a Morgan State Bear.
Hi, my name is Amanda Ross. I am a junior here at Morgan State University. I'm from Columbia, Maryland, and I'm a physical education major with a concentration in sport administration. I'm a captain of the Morgan State cheerleading team, and I'm also a member of the Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance Majors Club, as well as Mrs. Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance. Morgan State has helped me to become a better person because I think it's made me more well-rounded. Being around different types of people, being around being at an all historically Black institution as well has helped me just become a better all-around person and know how to deal with certain situations, really learn about my background and different things that I may not have necessarily learned at a traditional college. I think that every day on campus, a lot of students want to personify a certain image that they might see in the media or on TV. And that image is not necessarily an image that we want to portray as college students. I think that once they really find who they are and they don't want to be like the people they see on TV or personify that image, I think that that'll definitely help Morgan. I think cheerleading finishing 6th place in the country really was a touching moment for me. I feel like cheerleading as a whole has come really far as historically Black colleges, and we are now getting recognized with the higher institutions like Louisville and University of Maryland as well, and that we can really compete at that level, and that we're not just stereotyped as the typical stomp and shake cheerleaders that you see at the football games, but that we also have a great athletic ability. I personally plan to represent Morgan State University in the cheerleading arena as well as the professional arena. I'm studying to be a sports agent, and female sports agents are very rare, and I think that if I could become a sports agent, it would definitely put Morgan State University on the map, because we have some great professors in the physical education department as well as in all the other departments, but I think that educationally and cheerleading wise, I'll definitely put Morgan State on the map. My name is Amanda Ross, and I am a Morgan State Bear.
In a very small town called Coolidge, Georgia, and I grew up in a town with 400 people. So when you think about that small population, you would think that that person would never go anywhere. But I played a lot of sports in high school. I was a basketball player, ran track, fastest kid in my school. I also played football, and so I just actively involved in a lot of different things. And went to school at Tuskegee University. As a matter of fact, the president of Morgan State University was a freshman when I was a first-year graduate student. So we've really known each other for a very, very long time. And so when I left Tuskegee University with 2 degrees, a BS and a master's in the agriculture field, I went to the University of Georgia and started working there in 1974. Worked 3 years, went to The Ohio State University in 1976 to go to graduate school to get a PhD. Spent 8 years there, and then left there and went to Auburn University, spent 25 years there, and then went to Wisconsin as the chief of staff for the president. He was a chancellor there during that time. And then when he got the call to come here and be the president of Morgan State University, he asked me to come as executive assistant to the president, which is a lofty title that simply says my goal is to make sure that his vision is realized and all of the things that he set forth in terms of the strategic plan, the mission for the university gets done. I think students at every university are similar, but I will say that at Morgan State University there's a vibrancy and a degree of energy that I haven't seen in other places. You know, every university has its own rhythm, and the students here, they're very, very smart, very intelligent, and it's kind of interesting when you come into a university environment as an administrator. You know, you see and you hear some things that you've sort of forgotten that you were young once, and so you have to be reminded that these young people are growing up, they are maturing. And so as the president and I have come here, we have just seen some really wonderful individuals with really great ideas, and they're visionary people. I mean, these young people have ideas about what they want to do with their career, and they're representing the university really, really well. So I've been impressed with the students, and they certainly like to talk. They come over here to the office and they visit with the president on a regular basis, and they have ideas about how they want their university to be run. Well, I was surprised that a number of football players, for example, who are majoring in business, you'll see them on the campus and they'll have suits on. And so normally you think about football players, jocks, you know, basically just wearing athletic clothing and that kind of thing. But there are several young people that really have impressed me, and they wear suits, they go to seminars and workshops, they are constantly reading, you know, unique books about business and leadership and communications and team building. And so that's really, really impressive. And the other thing is that the SGA, when I first came here, I thought that Eugene Smith was a marvelous leader. And he engaged the students, he engaged the faculty, the administration, and so I could tell the first time I saw him and listened to his conversation that he was mature far beyond his years. And so it's that kind of impressive behavior by the students that keeps us getting up every morning and coming to work and doing the things that we do. A simple example. The president is very big on cleanliness on the campus. He thinks that if the campus is spotless and that it kind of changes the attitude and the perception of the university. It helps brand the university differently. And so the president cannot walk across the campus without picking up a piece of paper or a bottle or a can. If he sees trash anywhere, I don't care how he's dressed. I mean, he could have on a fancy suit, French cuffs, you know, the whole 9 yards, but he's going to pick that trash up. And so one of the things that he's done is to encourage all of us, everybody at the university, to take pride in the university. And so now I find myself, when I'm walking across campus, if I see trash on the ground, then I pick it up and put it in a trash can as well. But I think basically the thing that students, faculty, staff, administrators can do is to talk to one another. I saw a movie years ago and it was interesting because the coach of this high school athlete said, and this was a Jesse Owens movie, and he says, "Jesse, you look troubled and perplexed." He said, "Come and walk with me." Then he said, "If we walk long enough and talk long enough, eventually we'll begin to understand one another." And I think in higher education, in business, in anything that you do, being able to communicate and to understand one another is extremely important. So that's the first thing. I think having a sense of pride and respect in the university, having an open communication and dialogue, and then basically all of us having respect for each other in our various and respective roles at the university. And so I think the president has come. Morgan has always been a great university, but President Wilson has taken the university to a new level. His expectations, his standards are really, really high, and that's one of the reasons that I enjoy working for him. And I think the other administrators feel basically the same way. Let me just back up and say before graduation, and I can reflect on my time in college, I spent a lot of time trying to perfect communication skills. I don't care what field you're in, when you leave the university, you're going to have to be able to speak well, write well, and basically sell yourself. You have to sell yourself in your general appearance. You have to sell yourself in terms of how intelligent and how smart you are, because it used to be that you were only competing against the people that were in your university and in your classes. But when you really think about the global society that we are in, you're competing every day with people in China and Brazil and, you know, any country that you can name, and across the United States. So I think those individuals who read a lot, who really focus on their discipline to make sure that they have a deep understanding of all of the principles and concepts and how their discipline affects the world. And so whenever you're able to understand that, I think that you can wind up being successful. Now, the other thing that I think is important is that sometimes you have people who only want to learn one side, and it's their side. If you're going to succeed, you must learn the opposition side. So if you had a debate with someone, it doesn't serve you well just to learn your argument or have your views, but you got to understand how the other person thinks and perhaps why they think that way. And then the other thing I'll say in summary is that it's no shame as you are debating or discussing an issue with someone. If they present some evidence that is better than what you have to throw out there, it's okay to embrace what they've said. I mean, you don't have to totally give in, but we're searching for truth, what's right. And so I think that young people can serve themselves well. So learning how to dress well, learning how to speak well, how to comport yourself, all of those things. And when I grew up, I learned basically by watching black and white television, because I would watch how people would eat and how they would use the utensils and how they would dress and how they would speak. And I started to duplicate and emulate that, and it sort of set me on a path of, I guess, continuous learning and just growing that way. So I think the bottom line is to be observant and to watch and to listen and to not be afraid to try things. You know, you got to take risk if you're going to be successful as well. My name is Willie D. Larkin. The D stands for David. I really enjoy being here. Every day I get up, I am rushing to get to work because we have unfinished business every day, and I am a Morgan Bear.
Shout out to Morgan State TV.
Marcus Gunn, Sacramento King. I want to give a shout out to NSU TV.
Here at Morgan State.
That's you. That's you.
Hey, shout out to Morgan State TV. MEAC representing.
Morgan State Fair, baby.
on the side, he go by Bubba, and that is my thug. Okay. I ain't be jealous, but I deep tell Boogie. I show my moves.